Welcome back to Charleston, West Virginia for the Metrics World's Strongest Man Final. The fifth of 7 events for these strongmen was the overhead lift. Dave Ostlund came into the overhead lift as the overall leader, but he labored with a 309-pound log, managing only 4 reps. Phil Pfister didn't fare much better. He was only able to press the log overhead a total of 6 times. In the qualifiers, American Travis Ortmeyer was awesome in the pressing event, but he only got 7 here. Mariusz Pudzianowski, the 4-time champion, put up 10 huge reps, but that wasn't enough to get the win. And that's because American Derek Poundstone, who entered the overhead lift in 2nd place, was able to produce 11 repetitions. So Poundstone was victorious in the overhead lift. 2nd place went to Pudzianowski. Venta was 3rd. Bergman, Mitt, and Ortmeyer tied for 4th. 7th place probably doomed Phil Pfister's title chances, and Dave Ostlund took a major hit as he finished 9th. We have a new overall leader as Poundstone takes over the lead with 43.5 points. Pudzianowski is 2nd with 40.5 points. Ostlund drops to 3rd, 7 off the lead. Pfister is still 4th, but is losing sight of the leaders. Venta, Bergman, and Mitt have started to rally, but it's probably too little, too late. We move on to the penultimate event in the Metrics World's Strongest Man Final at the 130th Airlift Wing in Charleston, West Virginia for the plane pole.
I'm not sure there's ever been a bigger event than this one. The athletes will need to pull an 88,000-pound Hercules C-130 belonging to the West Virginia Air National Guard over a 25-meter course.
England, Terry Hollands.
And the first man up is Terry Hollands in 10th place after 5 events. The final has not gone the way Terry thought it would.
No, but if anybody's going to get this plane moving, it's Terry Hollands. He's huge. Look at the size of that plane. Look at the size of his quads. He's got those feet moving and his arms pulling. This is a great pull.
This is unbelievable, Kaz. That's 44 tons that Terry Hollands of England is pulling.
He's taking big steps and armfuls of that rope.
Remember, it's 25 meters, and Terry Hollands is going to put up the mark to beat, and I guarantee the other 9 men are watching this in disbelief.
Looks like it's getting a little bit harder. He's dropped his body. He's pulling even harder at the end of the course than he did in the beginning.
The wheel has to stop the clock, and it does at 38.69. So the big man from England puts up a tremendous mark to beat. And fortunes may be turning for Terry Hollands, but it might be too late.
Once you get good momentum, you've got to keep your legs pumping and your arms pulling to get it over the finish line. And that's just what Terry did.
Well, the second man up in the plane pole is Phil Pfister, the hometown favorite from Charleston. Now, Phil arrives at the plane pole 12 points behind the current leader, Derek Poundstone.
There's thousands of fans out here, and Phil won't want to let them down. Unfortunately for them, these big pulls are tailor-made for Phil.
Well, the mark to beat, 38.69 seconds. That's 88,000 pounds, 44 tons that Phil Pfister has got moving. And Kaz, he's got it moving.
Great leg drive, Todd. Really pulling hard with the arms.
How about the speed with the rope?
He's doing very well. It's the speed of the plane that he's worried about. He's got to gain momentum because this course gets harder towards the end.
A just very slight incline at the end. That's what Pfister is facing right now, but he's got 44 tons going towards the finish line. And he's got it. Much to the delight of the hometown crowd, Phil Pfister is your new leader at 37.66. And Phil Pfister could certainly use the points that come with a first-place win. The plane pole will continue with the top 3 men in the overall standings. This is the Metrics World's Strongest Man Final. Welcome back to the Metrics World's Strongest Man Final. We're at the 130th Airlift Wing in Charleston, West Virginia for the 6th of 7 events, the plane pole. Phil Pfister crossed the line with the 88,000-pound C-130 in 37.66 seconds and is the current leader with 3 athletes still to come. Terry Hollands is 2nd, then it's Tarmo Mitt in 3rd. And that brings us to Dave Ostlund of Minnesota. Dave was the overall leader until the overhead lift and is now in 3rd place, 7 points back.
Todd, I'm sure Dave's down after his difficulty in the overhead lift. But he's got to find a way to regroup here if he has any hope of catching Poundstone and Pudzianowski.
Well, he's got about 25 meters to cover this course. That's 88,000 pounds or 44 tons that if you will, it's still just a massive object.
Nice leg speed. That rope's kind of slapping. I don't know how hard he's pulling on it.
37.66 put up my fellow countryman Phil Pfister, but right now it's all about Dave Austin trying to get points. And here's where that bit of incline comes in. He cannot let this thing stop, Kaz.
He's slowing down. His legs are slower. He's got to dig down, dive towards the surface, and pull harder on the rope. Just keep it moving.
No one's ever questioned Dave Austin's commitment. He has now gone over 40 seconds. That front tire's got to cross the line before the clock stops. And he stops the clock at 49.09 seconds. Not the time he was looking for. That puts him currently into 5th place.
Todd, that's what a guy looks like who's given everything he's got, pouring his guts out in this plane pull. You can see Dave had real trouble getting the plane up to speed. But the real difficulty came in the last 8 to 10 meters when the plane's momentum came to a crawl.
Ladies and gentlemen, 4-time Metrics World's Strongest Man.
Poland's Mariusz Pudzianowski has won 4 titles since 2002, but it looks like title number 5 won't come so easily. Mariusz is in 2nd place, 3 points behind American Derek Poundstone.
It's out at 6'1" and 309 pounds. Mariusz doesn't have the ideal body mass for these big pulls, but he compensates by outworking the other guys.
Look at the massive arms on Mariusz Pudzianowski. This is 44 tons. He's got to cover the 25-meter course. There you see the time to beat put up by Phil Pfister at 37.66.
Todd, this is easily the fastest we've seen this plane move. Look at his hand speed. He's driving so hard with his legs, and the grimace on his face tells you he's working as hard as he possibly can.
A slight stumble there, but Mariusz is just gritting his way through this course.
And grunting all the way through, too.
And he has done it. By the narrowest of margins, Mariusz Pudzianowski has edged Phil Pfister. 36.67 seconds for the current leader, Mariusz Pudzianowski.
You want to know what intensity sounds like? Listen to Mariusz Pudzianowski. With all these huge guys out here, Mariusz has no business being the leader in the plane pull. It's his desire that separates him from everyone else.
In the red, representing the United States of America, Derek Poundstone.
The final athlete in the plane pull is the overall leader, Derek Poundstone of Connecticut. Kaz, at what point does Derek realize he's in great position to win the title and have the nerve set in?
Todd, Derek's a police officer. If he can handle that job, he'll be able to block out everything and just focus on this serious task.
Serious to the tune of 44 times. He has to go 25 meters, and he needs to do it faster than Mariusz Pudzianowski's 36.67 seconds.
Todd, look at those guns. He's tugging so hard. Look at his leg drive. This is a nice pull.
That's 88,000 pounds that Derek Poundstone's got moving.
You see him dropping his body position. He's putting as much drive into it as he can. But he's losing his balance a little bit. Strong legs right here.
He will not get the victory. 38.67 seconds as everyone looks on and looks at their clocks, and Mariusz knows he's got the victory in the plane pole. 3rd place to Derek Poundstone. And this sets up a very interesting last event. Mariusz Pudzianowski needed a victory, and he got it here in the plane pole. Pfister is in 2nd. Finishing 3rd means Derek Poundstone dropped 2 points to Mariusz. Terry Hollins picked up 4th. Dave Ostlund had to settle for 7th. And Travis Ortmeyer was a disappointing 8th. Derek Poundstone will take a lead to the final event. He's got a 1-point advantage over Mariusz Pudzianowski. One of those 2 men will be the 2008 Metrics World's Strongest Man champion. Ostlund and Pfister will battle it out for 3rd. But it's all about pride for the rest of the guys. One man looks to shock the strongman world, while another seeks an unprecedented 5th title. Who will claim the trophy? The final test is next.